What up? We're late. It happens. The actual vapor. I'm Mass Blast 09.
What's up, everybody? Hey, look, guess what? Ain't nobody got their lower thirds on except for one guy.
Fine, I'll turn mine off. Goddamn. Do we really need them anymore? Is it necessary?
Well, yes.
Hey, there's a new guy in the chat. I just saw him in there. He said he was.
Okay. Well, fine. I'll leave mine up then. Goddamn.
Yeah, I think you probably should. Anyway, what's going on, everybody?
Effects are not supported when caching is not available. What?
What
happened?
I don't know.
For anybody who has just tuned in at this particular moment and is having an issue with chat, because we get this one a lot.
Yes.
Underneath, on the home page, there's this little Plumes of Hazard banner. And then there's a whole bunch of little buttons like Facebook and et cetera, et cetera. There's one that looks like a chat bubble. That'll take you to an external chat link.
That's basically almost always up.
Exactly. So you can use that if you're having an issue with chat, because I know I'm going to start getting messages in a minute. I already have saying,
I got you in the chat.
My computer. Hang on, I gotta reload this. It's wigging.
Ladies and gentlemen, the most professional show.
So for anybody who's new here, I am Understudy 77.
I have the Expo Vapor. Whichever side it is, there it is. That's Pubaka, who's.
I'm changing my cotton right now, dude. This is important.
He's got shit to do.
Mass Blast 09 is here as well.
Yeah, it's working.
Now you're potato hardcore.
You're potatoed as hell.
Brought to you by 8
I don't even see his screen, dude.
That's right. 8 mega text.
There we go.
We haven't talked about that for a while.
Now, is that better?
No.
Not really.
Wait, come on! What's going on, Internet?
You're also
You're a tiny square now too.
You're a 4x3 too.
God. What the fuck is going on?
Love it.
I'm not even drinking sweet tea.
So, before we get into any of the news or anything like that,
yes,
I want to take a minute because we're not doing the standard giveaway this evening. We're not doing a giveaway this evening.
I was going to say, we're not giving nothing away, boy.
We're going to try to milk some money from you guys for charity. Our guest this evening makes a lovely, lovely mechanical box mod.
Which he normally sells.
I just zoomed up on Matt's screen.
How about now?
Hey,
better.
Is it working?
Yeah,
yes.
Right. Okay. Just making sure.
So he normally sells these mods.
Yes, and he donates some of the profits to charity. The charity in question is a charity called Victory Junction, which helps developmentally disabled children go to summer camp. So he has built us a custom Plumes of Hazard box. I mean, I'm just going to screen share that right now because
and it's pretty pimp.
It's absolutely pimp. This is a Plumes of Hazard approved mechanical box as well. It's a fully mechanical switch.
Wait. What is this? Plumes of Hazard approved? Because, you know, if we don't approve, we can get sued.
It's a fully mechanical switch, so, you know.
Oh, whoa, is that the switch on the side?
That's the switch, yeah.
What? Are you serious?
That's the switch.
Wow.
So we're going to get to how that works when we have the guest on. But it's really fucking cool. I talked to him about it last night.
Dude, I saw I only saw the front picture, and I thought it was just like a little wedge where you could just grab it and put your finger. That is awesome.
That is his button.
And is that the same one as Grimm's? Because we're going to mention that too, right?
That is the same one as Grimm's.
Yeah.
That's actually how we found out about it from there. So what you have to do is you have to go to victoryjunction.org tonight live during the show. You have to donate at least $5. Every $5 buys you a raffle ticket. I'm keeping a tally while we go on. You have to email proof of your donation to theplumesofhazard@gmail.com. That's how I'm keeping a tally. I'm throwing all those names into a randomizer. I'm going to click the button 3 times, and whoever's at the top wins.
Not once, not twice.
But 3 times.
Can you
5 is right out.
Can you give that website out again?
I just threw it in chat, but it is victoryjunction.org.
Ooh, nice.
Spelled properly and everything, so we don't need to spell it out. That's good.
Yep. And I will be keeping track on all of the donations as they come in.
Are we going to end it tonight at the end of the show? I can't
Yes,
remember.
at the end of the show tonight,
Okay.
we are going to end it. You have until then.
Wait, Sean, you're tracking donations?
I am tracking donations. I need an
So you're
email.
just sitting there scrolling and be like, he's a cheap fuck, he's a cheap fuck.
I would not do that.
Are you entering them yourself, by the way?
I'm entering them all into the randomizer by myself, yes.
No. Are you entering the raffle?
I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about whether or not we should.
I thought about it, and then we didn't get around to talking about it either.
I kind of want to, but I'm not sure that I'm going to because I don't know if that's appropriate if one of us wins.
Right.
I'm probably going to make a donation anyway. I'll just do it after this so I don't feel bad.
I am me. You go to victoryjunction.org. You make a donation in a multiple of $5. Every $5 gets you 1 ticket. Email confirmation of the total to theplumesofhazard@gmail.com, like a screenshot.
Yep, screenshot or your receipt or whatever. I'm doing it by 5 USD, but it is open to Canadians.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Do that conversion yourself, David.
we were going to fully open this up internationally, but it appears that Victory Junction may not take international cards. So I'm not sure. If you try and you're international, I apologize. That's us not doing our research.
Hey, at least
Abraham Lincoln says, "I'm on the $5 bill." Nice.
Hey, at least we're keeping our Canadian friends happy.
That's right.
Yes. I said this giveaway is open to international viewers, including Canadians.
Awesome.
So let's go with that. Let's go into the news. Matt, or Fu, what do you got?
I have my eye on what I consider to be the first real mech mod I'm buying. It is the flagship mod by SMK Mods. I'm trying to pull up a picture right here.
Send me an image there. I can put it up for you.
Their page sucks. Oh, money. I will paste a link in chat to the Facebook page. But anyway, I really like this mod. It looks a lot like a Manhattan, but it is 22 millimeters in diameter. Similar top cap design, but the switch is ball bearing, not magnetized.
And I think probably the part that you're most fond of is that it's not made by Amerivet.
I don't really care about that part.
No comment.
No, the part that actually made me want to get it is the fact that it retails, and it's made in the U.S., it retails for, usually online you'll find it about $110 to $130. I think the copper and brass finishes are more than the stainless, but I've got my eye on a stainless one. It is It is a very sleek, well-performing mod. I mean, I've been vaping on one at work. We got some in the shop. That's how I heard about it. I'm like, what is this? Like, this is amazing. And it's not often that I'm impressed by a mech to the point where I want to buy one. So I will be getting one, hopefully in the next few weeks. And yeah, you will hear my thoughts.
Word. What else you got?
Actually, some recent news. Got my 120 of Rex in from Crescent City Clouds. For those who don't know, he's done about 2 or 3 giveaways on Plumes. Those are earlier, but finally got back around to ordering my favorite flavor of his, which is Rex. It's a nice desserty tobacco.
I'm so happy because he's sending me the version 8.0 of his sweet tea. So.
Ooh, he sent me a beta as well. It's called Vanilla Beta Concoction.
He was great. He sends me a message, and he goes, "Oh, I got it ready for you. I'm gonna ship it out." And I say I got a shipping notification last week. He's probably watching, and
turn off your screen share.
And he then comes back and says, I get the email saying that it's gonna ship and all this, and he comes back and goes, "Oh man, I ran out of ink on my label maker. It's gonna have to wait till Monday." I'm like, "You dick!" Like, it already said that you were sending it.
Just write it in Sharpie, man.
Yeah, you guys. Right. I want to give a shout out. We had somebody in chat by the name of BMX say that he's new, but he's just watched a bunch of our videos all weekend long. So thank you, because that's fucking devotion, and I would never do that.
Right. We can't ever get Sean to watch it, even like week to week.
I barely rewatch. I'm lucky if I watch the replay.
I used to watch them all at some point during the week, just to make sure I wasn't doing something stupid like click my Duke lid or something like that. But yeah, I've kind of fallen off that.
I just assume that I'm doing something stupid. And
I've watched one full replay to date.
Which one?
Just one, from beginning to end. I'm a big skimmer. Because they're like usually when I want to watch a VOD, there's specific parts of the episode that I want to watch. I think it was actually the Grim Green episode.
Sure, that was a good one.
Episode 22.
That was a good episode. The Grim is always greener.
Indeed.
The intro to me, it'll never stop being funny. If you want to know, I'm not going to spoil it. You got to go watch it your damn self. It
was wonderfully awkward.
It was deliciously awkward. It really was.
Was it? Dude, I guess it felt awkward to other people, but I was just like, yeah, just rolling.
I don't think it felt awkward to other people. I think it felt awkward to Nick, and that's what was so great about it.
Don't give too much away.
All right. You got anything else, Foo?
I think that's about it.
All right. Well, like it has been the last couple of weeks, I put this in my news because we always forget to talk about it. Foo, what are you vaping on tonight?
First and foremost, while I was changing my cotton during my very rude intro, I just re-wicked my Odin on the staff of Agamemnon. I'm dripping the Waffle by Epicus Nebula. For those who, my other jam by them is the Creme de la Crêpe, which I like a lot more than the Waffle, but I do like the Waffle. And on the Stellar clone, I got the, where's my bottle? Perdition from Axiom.
Nice.
Somebody in chat just said they've seen every episode twice.
That's devotion.
Taco. Why made me feel like a dick?
I'm not willing to answer your question, by the way. Not yet.
Understood. What are you vaping on?
I'm not willing to answer your question yet.
Oh, I got you. Well, you're vaping on something else, aren't you?
Sure.
You only have one device in front of you. Come on.
My A-mods with my Hellfire with Lab Rat's Brown Betty.
With your tight butthole air hole.
With my tight butthole air hole.
Nasty, what do you got? What are you on? What are you vaping on, Nasty, on your muted self?
Damn it! I got three things. I got my my SX box with the big dripper on it, and in there I've had a couple of juices, but right now I have the Irish Car Bomb from the Vape Kitchen. Awesome, delicious stuff. And then I have some of Vaporator's juice in my Squonker DNA. And then I think one of the newest is also from Vaporator, and it's called Stash Beta D. And it's a beta that he's working on. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He got on Hangouts, and I was like, hey, man. I was like, you want to just throw the juice over the fence, and I'll grab it. And, yeah, he wanted me to try this beta. It's 3 milligram Nick right now, and it is very tasty. It is a fruity vape, and to me, it tastes like a pineapple, I'd say a pineapple lifesaver, the white ones, the solid ones.
Oh shit, for real?
The hard candy ones, yes. And it has no pineapple in it whatsoever, so it's not, like a strong pineapple taste, right? Right, it's just very subtle, and there's like 3 or 4 things in it. It is very
nice,
very unique. So this is something that he's working on.
Speaking lovingly of Vaporator too, I'm very excited because one of my local shops, Main Street Vapor, is going to be carrying them in like sometime this week.
That's awesome.
Oh, dude, there's like 3 miles down the road. I can go right down there and get myself some Lushington. Oh, I'm happy about that.
I need to get hooked up. I need some more Lushington. So to finish off my first part, I've got Raspberry in the rows as always, and in these two, in my Duke and in this cave one, I've got something that's kind of cool, which I'll talk about in just a minute. I think I'm probably not going to talk about that quite yet. So something kind of funny that happened to me this last week on ECR. I posted a comment that I thought was kind of funny. Just a random sort of story that this particular comment made me think of. Basically, had nothing to do with anything, and it ended up being like my top karma post of like the last quarter. So that says to me that ECR is no longer interested in actual like content. They just want funny stories. So fine. That's what I think. Maybe that's what I'll have to do. Maybe I'll make an alt to do that. And
I think I've known that for a while now.
Probably so. All right. So I also wanted to give this a little shout. I'm gonna pop the link in chat.
Somebody's echoing.
You guys are familiar with the UCAN little pocket juice dispenser for dripping, right? The little cap, take it off. You can drip in with a little needle top, drip in your dripper, put it back in your pocket, and not have to worry about it leaking. Somebody made that into a mod, which I think is awesome. And I mean mod by like the old school true edition of that word. Like they took an existing thing and made it a dripper. And what it is so it's tiny, right? So this thing is a little 18350 with a built-in dripper deck on top, and it's really sweet. So I want to say a little shout out to Captain Cosmo Bagel on ECR for posting that up, because that's really awesome. I hadn't seen that quite yet. Anyway, I thought that was really freaking sweet. I've got a bunch of vape coming in. What's that?
Let me pull up the picture so people in chat can see it.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Please do. I was just gonna put the link, but a picture would be even better.
Here it comes. There we go.
Drum roll, drum roll, drum
It's a cool little design, though. I gotta give them that.
It's a great little design, and it's truly a mod, right? They took an existing thing and made it into a freaking hybrid dripper.
And it's tiny.
Funny. And it's tiny. It's the size of a 650 battery. It's awesome. It's really, really cool. I dig it. I think they picked it up at Kidney Puncher, and it's really inexpensive. Now I just went to go say the price, and I think I forgot it. I think it's like $60.
Oh, Kidney Puncher sells them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool as shit. I didn't know that.
Pretty sweet.
I thought it was some dude's like make.
No. I think that's really cool. So I started off the show planning earlier, and I didn't think I was going to have anything to talk about because I've got like 3 or 4 pieces of vape now that I'm kind of excited about coming in, and none of it's here yet. Except I did get one of them in today, and I thought I'd mention it because it's kind of cool. So I saw a guy, or I didn't see a guy. I was talking to El Lou, and if you have been around for a little while, you know that Lou is the guy that helped us out with some with web development. He hooked us up and really helped design a lot of the implement rather a lot of the home page. So he was talking to me a while back about the Rio, and apparently one of the things that's really popular right now with the Rio is a particular kind of cotton, and he said it's called angel hair, and I was like, what's angel hair? That's weird. I've never even heard of that. So I started, looking around. He gave me a site, and it's sold by a guy who's the Cotton Man. His name is
the Cotton Man.
The Cotton Man. Butch is his name. So I reached out to him because there's a lot of information on thecottonman.com about his process, and like he grows cotton, then he cleans the cotton, and he's got the whole
brushes
setup there.
The cotton.
Yeah. And he's all about the health aspects of it. And he's not spraying it with inorganic bleaches and all that sort of jazz. It's just there's a lot of information on the site. You should go read about it. It's really cool. So I hit him up. I was like, hey, I was talking to him for a little while about it. I was like, look, I want like a little bit of the different things that you've got. So and he sent some over to me. So it comes with this little packet, and there's a bunch of little types in here. And the one that I wanted to show specifically, the first one that I was messing with, is called this angel hair, this Pima cotton that he's got. And Massey's going to put up a picture that I took. This is a picture that I took off my desk earlier. This stuff is crazy. So this little 6-inch length of cotton, I took as big as I could, so you can see every single one of those strands go the entire length of this stuff, and it is as soft as anything. I have never.
There's a nice close up there.
Yeah, dude. I don't think I've ever felt anything quite this soft. I don't know if anybody's got a Berman cat, but my little sister's got one, and those cats are like little fluff balls, and they are so soft, and that's what this stuff feels like. Anyway, so I just got it this afternoon. I haven't had a whole lot of time to do any like long testing on it, but I immediately threw it on a K-Fun, and immediately put it on the Tobe, and I've been messing with it. In a dripper, it's really, really good. It's wicking everything off the deck. I haven't had any sort of off flavors or anything on it. I would basically put it on par with the Japanese cotton, but kind of the cooler part to me about it is it's made by a dude and is grown by a guy, and the stuff that he doesn't grow, he's outsourcing to people that he does know, that he trusts to treat all this stuff to his standards and all that sort of junk. So he's come out with a few different things. He told me that he's gonna. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna wait until later till it comes out. He's got some cool packaging that's gonna come out, and it's a really inexpensive price. So I think you should go check that out, especially the Pima stuff or the angel hair stuff. Yeah, that's about it. So something else cropped up today on ECR that I wanted to share. There's a new reviewer on the block. And his nickname that he's going by is Vaping, or the Vaping Bogan, and he's an Australian dude who's got a very strange sort of camera personality. That link, by the way, is extremely blue. If you're sensitive to swearing, do not watch that video because it's basically 90% swearing, and it's unfortunately, even though it's just all kind of swearing, and some people think that's dumb, it actually is so much it was kind of funny to me.
See, I just no.
Yeah, it's.
Someone didn't like somebody.
I didn't even enjoy it. Like I watched, and like I can appreciate some crude humor. I can appreciate a lot of swearing, but at the level that he was doing it, it was more annoying to me than it was funny.
Right. So it made me laugh. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely made me laugh. But the thing that got me was later on in the comments. Apparently, this is based on an Australian viral video that went out there by this guy interviewing this dude who was clearly up on E or something, because he was out of his mind in this little interview thing, and everybody thought it was really funny. They started sharing it and stuff. So I thought I'd post this link too, so you could watch the original guy. His name is Trent from Punchy, and that guy, he's a piece of work. It made me laugh. So that's where that Bogan guy got his little personality thing from, is from this video. Anyway. That's the only various vaping bits of news that I've got. Sean, you are up.
Sweet. Right as I'm taking down, to everyone, I want to say to everyone who has donated so far, too, thank you very much, because we've actually gotten, I think we're going on probably close to $200.
Sweet.
So
wow, cool. That is awesome.
So, I mean, we're like raising some money for a cause. We've never done this, so we didn't know what to expect.
That is cool.
It's really fucking cool that you guys are donating. So thank you, everybody who is.
Absolutely.
So let's see. What do I got? What do I have to talk about? Man, I lost my place now.
Wow, this never happens.
Signs. I know, right? Okay. Signs. So the first thing, vape permitted signs. Have you guys seen any of these?
Yeah, I saw them on ECR the other day.
So they're kind of interesting, right? It's kind of an interesting concept. I'll screen share these. It's kind of a cool concept, vaping permitted here. Cool concept, probably a little bit expensive for a store to pick up, but if you do see them, if anybody sees one of these in the wild, I really, really want to know about it.
Sure. I think I mentioned a while back, I was invited to the DFW HIM hangout, vape meet or whatever, a few weeks ago, and we went to one venue and it was okay. It was actually a smoking bar, which I actually didn't know that there was any of those around, but apparently there are if you go to the left. But we relocated at some point because it was really hot there. We went to this Brunswick World or whatever. It was like a bowling alley with a bar in it. And as we were walking in, there was a sign saying, as of February this year, or whatever, this is a smoke-free facility. And at the bottom, with a little asterisk, said, e-cigarettes are allowed. It was all handwritten and stuff, but I thought that was cool as hell. So they need one of these signs. I should Tell them about it.
If only that was the case in New York.
Oh yeah. Glacier vapor. The interesting bit today. A vendor who's been in business for a little while said he was doing very well. Decided to close his doors because, in his opinion, vapors suck.
Yeah.
Terrible people.
Okay.
Just certain people. They were it was.
Yeah, it was a very specific call out, and there was a lot more to it than that. But I thought it was kind of interesting that somebody in the business would close their doors because they didn't like the way the community was going. So I thought it was worth mentioning.
Certainly, I said in that thread, I said it was kind of goofy because obviously that's kind of a ridiculous reason to close a supposedly successful business. There's obviously other things going on in the background. It's just kind of weird that you would blame it publicly on that.
Yeah, they're blowing smoke up our asses.
Openly, it was pretty openly blamed, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm saving my item for last because I'm fucking. So let's talk for a second. I don't know how many people in chat have seen this, but this is something called the FUFDA being made by SteamMonkey. The FUFDA is an American-made mech mod, and it's a little different, It works with the button pushes the battery up to the positive connection to fire. The switch is very simple. There's no springs, no nothing. And it's going to be, you're talking about coming in for something made in America here. It's going to be $80, right? So I grabbed some information from Lance about it, which I couldn't see while I was screen sharing because it's covering my notes. The pre-order's through SteamMonkey.com. It's $80, but if you pre-order, you get 3 30ml bottles of juice, whatever 30ml bottles you want. Pre-orders and wholesale will be closed by the end of this week, so if anybody's looking for an $80 made in the USA mech mod, pick it up soon. Conservative delivery estimate was mid to late November. I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of excited to see this coming out at $80.
Yeah, no, I think there's a few of them out there, right? I mentioned somebody mentioned the Workhorse by Super T. It's going to be another inexpensive American-made mech. I think it's a great idea. It's little, and I think Lance himself would say it's a no-frills kind of mech, but it's at a reasonable price point. Something that takes away one of the arguments that people have for buying clones. Well, it's so much cheaper. Well, here's one that's basically, maybe double the price or whatever, right? But not by much.
I'm happy to see this kind of stuff coming out, though.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to see this kind of stuff coming out. And lastly, I got this in from Eric. This is, I think, the first custom pedal that he did that was sent to him, and it is just fucking amazing.
That is very nice.
So the story behind this is one of my personal guitar pedals. I've had this pedal for about 3 years. It's my favorite pedal. Because of that, I also sent him a DS1 distortion, and he was kind enough to put the guts of this pedal in this distortion pedal. So now I have a reverb pedal that looks like a distortion pedal. And I have my giant 5800 mAh personal pedal.
Doesn't he? He looks like a broke-ass Jedi. Look at him.
Like a broke-ass Jedi.
But I gotta say, man, I am just... it's the little touches and things. You know what I mean, Mass? You do it, too. It's the little touches. There's a switch that switches it between the button and the pedal for fire.
Definitely not little touches.
And I don't know if this will show, but there's a little acrylic insert underneath there.
Oh, look at there.
Silversteam Custom 001.
That is cool.
It's a nice touch. The little things like that, man, when I was talking to Eric, I told him that this is close to or on par with mast level work. And I don't say that about many people. So I'm very happy, very, very happy about this. And the guy's name is Silversteam Vapors, and he's really fucking affordable for what it is, man. He's $210 for the full version if you have your own pedal.
Yeah.
And he's $260 if he's got to buy the pedal. So
and we had him on. If you wanted more information, we had him on.
We did.
Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, he's buying the pedals retail for around like
for $50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's buying them at $50, and if you have your own pedal, he's knocking $50 off the price. So that's not bad.
Yep.
I think he's very appropriately priced, and for any musician vapors out there, I don't think you're going to be dissatisfied with it. I'll say that. He does very good work. I took the battery out the first night. It wasn't fully charged, and I killed it. And then yesterday I took it out. I used it all day. It's a 5800 mAh battery, all day, 17 watts. It went from 4.2 to 4.05 at night when I plugged it back in. So
you need to vape more.
I mean, 17.3 watts. That's not going to like kill your battery by any stretch, but all day. I mean, still.
But it's not. But still, man. I mean, I could run this thing for 3 or 4 days. You know.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. On to mast.
Wait, you didn't talk about the stands, yeah?
Oh yeah. Shit. So
Do
we
it.
had a request on our Facebook to do a tech time about vapor stands, and I'm just going to take care of that. So here's my mod. There's my stand. I totally stole that right from Goss's book, but
Yeah, Goss style. And I was going to mention, so since you asked about that, I actually did, so back when I first started vaping, I actually went out and I made a vape stand. I took some scrap wood that I had around. I went out and bought some Forstner bits and sunk some holes down that's big enough for 50 ml bottles and addies and drip tips. And this was back when I was using tube mods. So basically all this does these days is hold my Provaria, my old Egos, and my spare big bottles of juice sort of sits on top of here on my thing. But I used a router and actually made it kind of nice. Did a little stain on it, little stands with some dowels.
Maybe
Works pretty
Yanks, you should do a tech time making a stand.
I could, I guess. It was. I gotta admit, even though I used shitty pine that I had laying around, it actually turned out okay. It looks nice. The having a router around helps a lot. It makes the edges look a little more interesting. But yeah, man. I mean, just encourage everybody out. If you've got stuff around, just go make something yourself.
Dude, I got my teeth cleaned at the dentist today. Them bitches are white. I'm like looking at them on the screen. I'm like, damn.
I saw you making faces at yourself. I didn't know what you were doing.
You're like, who's sexy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I got the P Bastardo lights on. Tan, no tan. Tan, no tan. This is his magic lighting setup that he doesn't reveal to anyone.
Patented, baby.
My turn?
It's called a strobe.
Can I go now?
Unless you got a stand to talk about.
No stand. It was actually kind of funny. I was the dentist today, and the hygienist is telling me the story about how she went to this guy's house that has a party, and he works for Bacardi, and she was wondering why the hell they had a piñata at this party, and I figured she was trying to tell me this joke or whatever story because I look Mexican. She's like, yeah, they had this piñata, and there was like 3 or 4 people playing with it, trying to, break it open, and she's, there was probably about 40, 50 people in the party, and when it broke open, it was full of Bacardi little bottles, and they all went on the ground. She says, I've never seen so many white people just go rah on that stuff. So it was actually kind of funny. But anyways, all right, so first thing I want to talk about, I tried to get it before last show, but it didn't get in, and I kind of know why now. I was talking to my buddy over at Veritube, and that's a good story too. So I got in the Big Dripper. This is the Big Dripper clone. This is the box that it comes in, and it comes with, the little shitty Allen wrench. Nice Addy, great airflow. I believe it has more airflow than the Tatro. I also have the Tatro T1, and we'll show. There's a picture of the Mo flow. Okay, and that little hole you see there is where the juice will flow from the upper tank down below, and there is the deck, and get that to focus there. Come on, you bitch. I'll make some vapes, see if it goes. So it's got Allen screws. It is, you know, a deep well, so you're building and pushing down, and you can do the single air hole or double or anything like that. So quick review about it. It vapes great flavor because it's got a reduced chamber. It's really good. More of the positives, you know, it holds. You can do up to 5 mil if you do the syringe style, because when you're putting it together, you know, right before you close it, you can fill it up like that. I haven't had any leaks where it's not supposed to leak out of. So O-rings here or at the top. And now on to the gripes. It comes with a, like I said, it's a very good Addy if you're going to be doing high VG juice. So I'm talking about 70-30, anything up that high. And here's why. So we'll talk first about the drip tip. This is the drip tip that it comes with. Okay. There's the inside, very nice and restricted. I have a Cherry Vapes drip tip on here, and the reason that I have this drip tip on here is because all of my other drip tips, say again?
I said it won't fit a chuff cap.
Well, all of my other drip tips don't fit, and it is very tight. I mean, talking about it'll rip the O-ring off of them. Here's a
that cherry one's barely in there. It looks like it's sitting way up.
It is. That's correct. So here's another downfall. Put the drip tip on. Okay, if you try to put the drip tip on before you put your juice in there,
squirt.
You're gonna have to take this out, you know, or have it in here. Push it in with your finger and then push the drip tip on there. Don't do it after you've put the juice in. Learn that the hard way. You push down and the juice goes down. Because the way this works is to get more juice down to the bottom deck, you push down just like that, and juice comes through that little hole and fills the deck. Now, yes, this is barely in there because this is the only one that I got to fit in there without damaging the rubber on O-rings. Like, for example, this drip tip that I bought at VaporCon last year, awesome little drip tip, wouldn't fit. So, and there is a difference in the size. I measured it, and so not sure why that's like that. I've talked to some people that have the legit big dripper, and it has the same issue. I'm sure that's something that, you know, I put out on the CNC and clean it up. You know, I can fix it up because, as you can tell, there's plenty of meat and material around that top part that you can take out. So that's one negative. Negative number two, if you're using a juice, like for example, I don't know exactly what percentage the Vape Kitchen's juice is. It is thinner than, you know, a Max VG juice. It's going to leak. It's going to leak out of the weep hole on the inside, and it's going to flood the deck. And, I mean, you'll be sitting there, and you'll be going, and all of a sudden it'll just be not producing any vapor, and it starts, you know, you can start hearing it gurgle, and it just leaks out. And I think part of the problem is the negative pressure that you're building inside of the deck. So I didn't have the air holes all the way open because I was doing a flavor test, and I really wanted to get as much flavor as possible. So I had the deck probably more than half open. Okay, so you can see there, it's more than half. Okay, and I think that was causing a vacuum, and it was pulling some of that juice out. Now, that technically shouldn't happen because this is sealed up here, so I don't know. Another thing I notice is, being all metal, this guy gets hot. When the juice gets hot, I think it's expanding, and some of that will drip down also. So that's another thing to keep in mind. And another issue that I saw was the deck likes to go lower than, or the outside piece likes to go lower than the deck. So when you pull this piece up, okay, and you try to sit it flush, this part wants to go further down, like if I unscrew it. So, you know, it's just little things like that. You can kind of see where it's not all the way down. You see the hole is not completely, and that's pushed all the way down against that 510. It can't go any lower. So I think the biggest issue with this guy is the leaking of the lower viscosity juice. If you're running max VG on here, you're not going to have an issue. I didn't have any issues with I was running, I believe it was Meditation by Karmic Vapor, and it's some thick stuff. It was fine even when it was getting hot.
Hashtag raindrop.
Yeah, but this thing performs really well. The main thing I was worried about was the airflow. It's got plenty of airflow, no problems whatsoever. So there you have it, Big Dripper. It was, I think I got it for $28 on eBay. That's the only place I could find it that was in stock. And like I said, here's the box that it came in, and it came with some coils. Throw that shit away.
So and a running theme, because Rip Trippers had the EA Pro version of a similar sort of device, and he tore that thing to pieces today.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if the legit one has all those issues. I know that the issue with the dripping, it is an issue when you're running, a 50-50 juice or a little bit higher. So, there you have it. Next thing on the list is the battery venting video that I did. We're going to have a few more batteries being tested. I don't have it right here. I was kind of disappointed. I got a counterfeit MNKE 26650 battery from a friend of mine at one of the meets. Okay, and there's the telltale bump on the bottom, and you could tell by some other stuff on the writing and stuff like that. And unfortunately, this battery is around 1.8 volts when I got it, and I talked to Chuff and a few other people, bouncing some ideas on how to get it to 2.8 or something like that, so then I could charge it, because you put this in a charger and it's just going to say too low voltage. It's not going to charge. So what I was trying to do was charge it, feeding it direct voltage, and it started getting really hot. So I stopped because I don't have a safe area where I have a charger that I can charge this, and if it decides to, take a dump and blow up, it's safe. I don't have any of that. So, but what we might do with this one is, put a little flame to it, see what happens, because it's not going to take any more voltage. Maybe we'll hook it up to AC power. I don't freaking know. So we got. I had a bunch of people in the video that we made say, "Hey, how about them NCRs? Those NCR 18650Bs." Well, sure enough, somebody at the meet that I was at last Friday had one, and this one's all kinds of tore up. It's gotten plenty of use. We got a lot of complaints about, oh, well, that battery that you put in there is new. Yes, the battery that I bought, the MNKE, the first one that I did, was a new battery. It had about 6 cycles on it. So, but this one, as you can tell, it's all kinds of chewed up, and so this one holds a charge. I charged it, so it's good to go. And then we have a VTC full, also with the chewed up end.
So, somebody's been wrecking that thing in a telescopic mod, looks like.
Yes, they have. And then for all the for all the Apple fanboys, in memory of the new iPhone and everybody dumping off their old one, we got an iPhone 5 battery.
Ooh.
So we're going to see what this guy does. It's a little, I think it's a 4.3 volt LiPo, and it's a 1440 mAh. So we'll see what this thing does. So we have those going. So in the video, I mistakenly forgot to show a voltage readout of the battery before I started. And it just wasn't videotaped. I had it, I checked it, and the video wasn't running yet. I had a hangout camera going first. So yes, the battery was at full voltage. I believe 4. I tested it for a little bit, so it was like 4.18, something like that. So before, so I'll make sure that this next video that we make actually shows the voltage. So, and there will be more videos coming out. It's been raining down here in Florida, so want to make sure we have some time to do that. So that pretty much covers that, right, Sean?
The TLDR is there will be more offline content coming for all you wonderful people.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
know I, for one, need to step up my game and do some more 30-second reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Massey, D's Nuts in the chat mentioned, looks like you got a new headset, all right?
I've been using this one for since my other one died.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's just a straight up Logitech.
Logitech,
Yeah, my old one was over the years. This one, and what I ended up doing is I ended up taking the mic cover from the old one and putting it in this one because y'all bitches were complaining about wind noise. So I'm like, what wind noise? And then I guess this mic picks up a lot better, so I covered it up. So
somebody was in chat and they said, DZ, it was really nice to meet you at Vape Mania. And I'm like, DZ wasn't at Vape Mania, man. If he was, I'd be fucking pissed. I said, but to my knowledge, Stone Cold Steve Austin wasn't there either, but it was a wrestling spoof, so there could have been someone dressed like him.
Maybe. I always say, when DZ shows around, I always show this picture, because it looks just like him.
Absolutely.
So,
he's been cut though. That guy.
Yeah, I know. You always want to make sure that he's fat. I don't know what it is with you, Anksy. You have to make sure that DZ is fat. And
no, I said that guy. The guy that you just showed is a little less cut.
Oh yeah. So but he comes up in the wild, and he's usually doing one of these. So that's the same as DZ. So, anyways, so the next thing we have in the news is I closed my window and now I don't have my list here. Okay, so next thing I got is the SAT22 clone. That just came out. I have some pictures here. We'll go through them right now. There's a picture. Let me take my.
Well, so what's interesting is our buddy Shaza did a review of this, and I have not yet had a chance to watch it. But somebody who had watched it said that it's pretty much spot fucking on.
There's a couple of the images. I'll
to
cycle
me,
through.
Because that really does look like a SAT to me.
Spot on, yeah.
The thing that so kind of something funny. Are you gonna get one, Massey?
I
don't
dude just said he got DZ and Vapor Joe mixed up.
Oh,
that's fired.
I am so sorry, Josh.
Oh my God,
Josh,
What?
if you're curious, that guy lives in Maryland, and if you ever make it over here, I'll make sure he's there.
Wow.
So the reason I asked, Massey, is I think I mentioned last week that I sort of impulsively picked up a SAT22 and it's coming my way.
Well, so we were in a hangout and somebody mentioned, I think it was Famine. Somebody mentioned there's like 2,000 SAT22s about to hit the market, so everything's going to go plummeting. So but there's a couple pictures, and this is a Jenny, this one is on sale on Fastic, I think for $11 or something like that. So.
How much you pay for yours, Brian?
Several more dollars than $11.
Not that I don't support buying the real thing.
Yeah.
No, I picked it up because I've spent the last year plus just loving silica build addies, putting cotton in them, but the K-Funs and the Rose. Go ahead, Mast.
No.
Okay. All right. Good. No song. So I've just enjoyed that style of atomizer, and I haven't really given Jenny's a real Genesis atomizer a real fair shake. So I figured if I'm going to try one, I'm going to try the one that everybody says is a pimp, and if I don't like it, then I'll just turn it on. I figured I could just turn around and sell it, and at least I make my money back. I'm not looking to flip it or anything, but if I don't like it and I just hate it, I'll just sell it for what I paid for it.
Yeah, Joe. Somebody's asking. Yeah, it is a Jenny. That's SAT22.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there you have that. And the last thing I want to talk about is if you know, if you know this person, you'll know that his products are top notch. So we'll just have a little bit of a intro music because we have to pay homage to the man himself. That is Chuff himself, and here are his new drip tops. Are you okay, Sean? These are the new. These are the new Chuff tops, dripper, dipper, duper tops, and the best part about them
The best
is
part.
they have his friggin' face laser
That
engraved
is
on
not
the
a Photoshop,
inside.
ladies and gentlemen.
That is not a Photoshop. That is an actual laser engraving on the inside of the chuff caps. Right.
Vape on Chuff's face every time.
Any of you who do not know Chuff, he also happens to be a Calvin Klein model.
Okay, so these are on sale right now at Koval. If somebody's got the link.
I don't know. Google Koval.
Yeah, I got it right now.
Oh shit! I was supposed to order one when I got home.
I think they're out of stock. Okay. So, anyways, they're stainless and they have a nice fit and finish to them. They don't have any of the ridges and stuff like that. I think it's pretty awesome that he got the freaking laser engraving on the inside. To tell you the truth.
What's cool too is they're $5 more than the Delrin ones.
Right, and they're stainless.
Yep.
So, and I asked him about a color variation. This one that has the logo inside of it, they're all the same stainless color. It's not. That's just a lighting issue.
Put that LED in
to Joe User, hot juice popping all up in your face. I do want to tell you that I didn't believe this, but after getting a chuff cap, you get less juice spit back with the chuff cap than you do with a standard 510 drip.
I don't know if I could say you get less, but I don't get any more.
I get less.
The only time I get it is if I overdrip.
Yeah, if you overdrip, you'll get it, but you'll get that up a regular drip tip too.
Yeah.
Depends on how hard you're sucking too. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, you go like Josh Wilson, like. But yeah,
You're gonna get a little
juice on my lip
like that.
Get that crackle factor. But anyways, yeah, so there you go. There's your tough tops. I'm pretty sure Koval has them on sale, or they're selling them. I don't know what the hell the address is. Look it up. But there you go. And yes, there is an O-ring that fits down at the bottom. I believe it comes with multiple O-rings. So there you go. There's the new Chris Shove It Top by the man himself.
DZ just said, so if you buy one, and when you hit it, are you in essence giving Chuff head?
Absolutely.
Every time.
Did you see Wong's post?
Yeah, so the Fast Fat clone has already...
No, you should definitely show that because that's pretty
So
funny.
the Fast Tech clone has already come out. For anybody who cares to see it, it is ready. With that lovely engraving.
Oh my god. Oh, that is great. I want that one.
I kind of do.
Yeah,
I want the Fast Tech
the
Clone.
original, dude.
So, before we get to introducing the guest, which is going to be in just a minute, I just want to say we have raised $300.
Awesome.
Dude, that is great. In less than an hour.
That's amazing.
Thank you very much to everyone. That is.
And I'm now going to introduce Hugh.
We should really bring Hugh in. It's been 55 minutes.
SMW Mods, the maker of that lovely wooden box mod. Hello, Hugh. You have to unmute yourself.
There you got it.
Welcome.
Well, thank you.
So $300 already, man. $300.
That is freaking awesome.
It's great stuff. Hey, so
Yeah.
can we? I'm glad we got that out of the way. That's really awesome. I want to ask you about the coat of arms you got behind you. What's up with that?
Impulse buy.
Nice.
Those are the best kind.
Why would you not? I'm kind of jealous. I kind of want one myself.
My youngest son plays video games. One of the games he played had knights in it. We saw it a night in a store. He wanted it for his bedroom. Put it in his bedroom. Scared the living daylights out of him. It now sits in the dining room.
So now it's in the living room. Awesome. Very cool. So do you want to take us through your mod, this thing that you've made, this awesome thing?
Sure. Yeah, just a.
Well, tell us who you are first, before we get down and dirty with the mod.
That's true. I don't think we said that yet.
Okay. Been a CNC machinist forever, and got into vaping a little over a year ago. And we started out with the egos, like everybody. And it didn't take long. And just about any hobby I get into, I've got to progress rapidly. and we were progressing faster than the wallet could afford in the vaping room, and wanted a hard-hitting mod. Couldn't find one that fit my budget. I've always woodworked forever, just as a hobby, and decided to build one. I built one. I wanted it to hit hard, so we did the home, the handmade switch. It's got, I think you can hear the, good solid contacts in there, and do it with a brass strap inside and no spring, so that it would get the most current we could get to pull through the mod. So I made one.
And it won't wear out, right? There's no wearing on a spring, right? If you got the brass strap in there.
Well, there is no spring.
Right.
I know. That's what I mean. That's why he's using that, so it doesn't wear. Yeah.
You basically just have the pull the strap out of the way, like battery.
Nice.
Good. So I made one. We took it to the local vape shop. They saw it. The next thing you know, everybody wanted one.
Well, they're freaking gorgeous.
Thanks.
Now, do you do that the actual button bit? Is that just like an inlay of a different wood, or how's that work?
No, that's actually it's actually a piece of wood that's an integral part of the switch.
Yeah, but is it like an inlay, as in it's a different piece of wood? Is it a different type of wood?
Oh yeah. The mod it's basically two sides, top, the bottom, and the center section is a whole other piece of wood. So it's all
cool.
Starts out 3 pieces of wood, gets broken into a whole lot more, and goes back to 1 piece of wood.
Right.
It's a cool button design too, man. I gotta say, like, it's interesting, and I know when I saw it on Nick's vlog, he said the button was it just felt lovely. And it is such a cool freaking button design.
Yeah.
That is, when I saw that, I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, I got a quick glimpse of it last night when we were planning, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
None of that, like pinky fire in business or whatever, right? Just right there in your hand.
Well, one of the things when I was building it, like I said, it was budget conscious.
Right.
It was like 11 o'clock at night. I'm in the garage building it. Said I need a switch, so I made a switch.
So somebody asked that you hold it up a little bit higher and turn it so that people can see it, because it was blocked by the chat window.
Nice.
Oh, that looks so nice.
The logo in it.
Yeah, that
It's
came out so nice.
It's like putting your finger in like the little like slit in a sliding door,
Mm-hmm.
or like a sliding closet door or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can see.
So then you sell these standard for people, and there's a standard kit, and then you also sell a charity version.
Yes.
Do you want to run through your price breakdown on these? Because I know they're not that expensive.
No, generally, if you were to buy a mod with no engraving, an 18650 mod with no engraving, we sell for $150, and that includes shipping. All the prices will include shipping. Engraving is generally another $25 charge. So an engraved mod would be $175. What we're doing on the charity boxes, we're working a little bit with Grim on that, is you'll get a mod. They're all going to be one select wood, but they've got a Grim Army like logo engraved in them. And then we're going to get by rank. You'll get a storage box that we laser cut.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the storage box will have the logo and your mod in the box. And going through the ranks, we start out at private for 165. So you're getting the engraved mod, which would normally be 175. In the box with the engraving, we'll do it for 165 shipped, and I donate $10 to the charity. As you go up in rank, so you can go to corporal, sergeant, major. Each of the $10 charge, but all of that money goes to the charity. So at the top rank, when you buy the box for $205, we'd actually be giving $50 to the charity for that purchase.
That's cool. Very cool, man. And it's cool of Nick, of course, to pick it up and promote it too.
Oh yeah. Well, and man, if I use mechs, I'll tell you, it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah. So tell me, what sorts of wood are you using to make this?
The ones for this charity, I'm using a Paduk, which is a red colored wood, and we're using either Peruvian walnut or American walnut, whichever I can get my hands on at the time, for the dark accent woods.
Oh, sweet.
That is nice.
And the regular ones, what do the regular ones go?
I've got a number of different woods. We use, like this is an ambrosia maple. See, it's got the color streaks down through it.
Mm-hmm.
So we use ambrosia maples. That's what I used for this giveaway box, but I used a real clean blank, so that there was nothing in the middle of the engraving.
Right.
Whatever woods I happen to find when I'm at the lumberyard. So they're always something different mix.
That's cool.
The nice thing about anything done out of wood, right, is it's always different. Every one is going to be different.
Right. Is that something that people can request you, particular kinds of wood and whatever?
I do take that, but it takes a while to get that because it doesn't. I don't use a lot of wood to make a mod, but when I go to buy the wood, I have to buy in bulk to get the price right. So I keep the mods down. So when I've got enough wood to build 200 mods, and somebody wants one that's not the wood I happen to have, I don't want to go buy enough to buy 200 of that one.
Right.
But I try to accommodate them. We'll look for small chunks and things like that. A special request for a mix of woods will be a little longer.
Now, what's your general turnaround time for a custom piece, or just for a mod in general?
Generally, on a custom piece, probably 2 weeks. On a single mod, I try to keep 5-6 of them on hand if I can. Not always easy to do, but we try to keep 5 or 6 on hand so we can ship out fairly quick.
Okay, and then how are you doing orders and sales and stuff right now? Because I know there's a lot of people that seem like they're digging. So how do they get one?
Okay, basically they can get a hold of me on SMW Mods on Facebook, and just send me a message there. I sell primarily through PayPal.
Any plans on opening like a shop or an online store?
Not yet. Thinking of doing that, but haven't taken that jump.
Then you gotta update inventory online and a bunch of other jazz, right?
Will you take wood that someone sends you to build one?
I can, yes, as long as it's been stabilized in some way. I prefer kiln dried. What happens is when you build it, if it's kiln dried wood, that closes the cell structure of the wood, so your expansion and contraction is minimal, because you'd get a different expansion rate this way, or side to side on the lid,
right,
than you would this way or from the bodies, and you'll end up feeling pieces that just don't fit right down the road.
Well, plus you'll get splintered out, and you'll get some cracks and stuff too, right? If it's not dried out, right? Yeah, sure. It won't finish right. It'll look funny when you stain it. Yeah.
And we don't. And another thing that I would worry about is swelling.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't trigger to swell and get wedged.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So last night when I first had a chance to talk to Hugh, I'm sitting here trying to come up with a promo, and I looked right at him. I said, "Man, I got nothing. I got nothing on you. I got nothing that I can make funny." And then we had a conversation about his actual business name and what it stands for and how all that works. So is this a story that you want to tell everybody? Because it's funny.
Well, like I said, I built the first mod, and it didn't look anything like these. It was a bunch of scrap wood pieces and things, and I put it all together, and it had brass screws holding it together, and it was large, but it was to test the concept to see how well the concept would work. And our local bake shop manager has got hands on him like this. I mean, the guy could palm a basketball or a beach ball. And he saw it and held it. He says, "Man, it's the first mod that fits my hands. Gotta have it." I said, "Okay, well, let me think about it." So I brought it home and said, "All right, I gotta bust this guy somehow." So he said, "You gotta come up with a name for your company." So I engraved SMW mods on the box and took it back and sold it to him. And waited. He's like, waited till he vaped on it. So as he's vaping on it, he says, "Hey, what's the SMW stand for?" I said, "Well, suck my wood mods." So it started to choke on that guy, but actually ended up sticking. So it's been.
Hence the show name. I'm sure now makes sense to a lot more people.
Right. Because it was a good promo. I don't know where you found that picture, but it was pretty funny.
I actually Googled "suck my wood."
Oh Lord.
Wow, was Safe Search on? I hope that was on because that can't be bad.
The only way you're gonna find something that you can use in a promo is to turn on Safe Search for that.
Oh man. So somebody just asked in the chat, will if you get a little over dripping or a little dribble down the side, will it stain the finish of the wood?
We prefer to call it a nice patina.
Somebody else did say E-Juice will give it character.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I finish them just with a carnauba wax. That helps keep the cost down. If I was to have to set up a spray booth and do them with like a, poly spray or a catalyst spray, that's just gonna drive the cost up. And then they'll feel like plastic. They won't feel like wood.
Right. And so that'll protect it somewhat, right, until that gets worn down a little bit by messing within your hand and stuff. So should you treat it then? Re-wax it after a while.
If you leave it on the end table, your wife hits it with the fledge while she does everything else, you're good.
There you go. There you go.
And then we had another question. Can we send in a different 510, such as a Fat Daddy, Veritube, or the like?
Actually, I'm working on that right now. I've had a couple of people who don't quite understand that when you press the 510 into wood, it's not the same as metal, and they've kind of tried to tighten it like they would a lug nut, and they rip the 510s out. So
you see Mass Blast right there going, It's the same thing with metal, man. Those press.
You're muted, dude. You're muted. Get it together, Mast.
Mast, you're muted.
I just had one. The guy just dropped it off. Literally, my wife brought it into me. Here it is. Here's the 510 already getting pulled out. And this is a Fat Daddy one. This is an older Fat Daddy. But they cranked on it down so much that it started spinning it back out. I'm like, seriously? Damn, son.
yeah, I mean,
He had it engraved on the bottom of his Addy.
Yeah, the ones I use right now are a floating pin. So you just pick the pin up if you're putting a shorter Addy, one with a shorter connection in.
Yeah.
But some people seem to think that you just have to crank them in. It's only been about 5 out of a couple hundred I've made. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
But I've got some Fat Daddies coming to see if I can adapt them to the process and upgrade that.
Is there enough meat on the top of that mod to countersink it down a little bit, or is that pretty thin on top?
No, that's a 1/4 inch, so we can sink that down. Cool. That was before we'd even talked to you, and I saw Grimm's post. I said, man, that is a beautiful box. It's a really cool charity thing. And I said, but that 510 though, because that's the first thing I think about, because I'm real gentle on my stuff. I've never busted one, but at the same time, I'm always worried about it too, right? So that's a really cool upgrade. I think that's something that people are probably excited about. I am. Yeah, we're hoping we can make that work.
That's awesome.
And then,
do we want to talk about did we talk about the charity very much? I mean, I know we mentioned what it is, but is there any particular link that you have, Hugh, to it or anything?
Basically just victoryjunction.org.
Why did you choose it? I
right.
think what he's getting at.
Yeah, it's a charity. I mean, we live here in Concord, right in the middle of NASCAR country, and it's located in Randleman, North Carolina, and it's just a nice thing for kids. It takes developmentally disabled kids, terminally ill kids, and kids who ordinarily couldn't go and spend a day at like Six Flags or at a park like that, where they've got people there to help them, and then they put a summer camp and water park and things like that in for the kids. So those guys that just would never get the chance to enjoy that type of fun can go, and it's all free of charge to the kids and the families.
And one of our regulars said he lives about 20 minutes away from that park, and he donated. Like he was, I think, the first donation that we got, and he sent in the email. He said, "I live 20 minutes from that park. This is awesome."
That's cool.
We had another guy say that he was going to buy e-juice, but he decided that this charity was better. So thanks to him too.
Nice.
We'll have to. Somebody have to get that guy a bottle of juice.
What was the other one that I was going to ask?
What's the throw on that switch? Is it pretty light, heavy, medium? What do you describe?
I'd say like a 3 pound.
Okay.
So
That's pretty
significant,
good.
but not heavy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, in the way that the design is, I like that because you can put it in your pocket and it's not going to fire because you have to have something that actually pushes perfectly in the middle of that, to be able to get it to fire. So.
Yeah, that was one of the concerns. I didn't want it to auto fire if it was in your pocket or
right.
purse or something like that.
Sure.
I'm going to throw the donation information into chat again as we start to wind down a little bit, so that if anybody wants to enter, now is your chance, because pretty soon I will be running the randomizer. Mass, do we have anything for tech time before we continue talking?
Yes, and I'll start setting up now. It should be pretty quick. We're gonna go over. I had a few people asking questions on how to wire up a LED powered switch.
Cool.
So we got a switch, and we're gonna show you how to wire it up.
Ooh, look at that switch.
No, don't even get excited about it. I'm just using it as an aid for viewing.
P9 for life.
Get me all messed up and P9 is start coming out.
Ain't nobody needs
All right.
your P9. Put it away.
I'll be back. I'm gonna set up.
All right. Yeah, man, it's so.
Look at that freeze frame. Look at the freeze frame.
So one of my questions is not so much why that specific charity.
I better take that off of there before somebody takes that pic. Somebody already did. God dang it.
Why? I guess it's not even a question. Just it's really cool of you to do that.
Yeah.
It's really cool of you to do a charity drive. It's something that we see every once in a while in vaping, but it's really cool of you to do it. It's really cool to have had you come on to talk about it. It's a really good quality, and I think it's really great that we do this in the e-cig industry, and that we do it for non-e-cig related charities.
Yeah. What's nice is that we're at that point in the industry now where PR has been very very important, and it's that this industry has become its own thing, and now we're kind of joining the ranks of doing fundraisers and such. And it's nice to do it with smaller charities, I feel.
And again, the $300+ worth of donation that we have gotten so far tonight. Thank you guys so much. That's really
Thanks
cool.
so much. That's awesome.
Because there was legitimately no idea how any of this was going to go, and it's gone very well, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very pleased.
Yeah. Proud of our fans. Good job.
I'm always proud of our fans, but I think I'm slightly more proud tonight.
But Q Fubaga, you are all my children.
Yeah. But man, I had a question and I totally can't remember what the hell it was. We do have people bitching that there's no international donations. So we need to talk to these Victory Junction guys and tell them that Europeans want to give them money too.
That's why I guess I didn't even think about this until just now. Even though we discussed that earlier, we probably could have had them like PayPal you or me.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't think there's enough time for that.
Yeah, that's probably not ready. Massey, you look like you're up.
Nah, yeah, just not yet. Just
Not yet. All right, cool.
Almost. Was it a question in chat? Somebody said you're local. You're local to one of our viewers, Durosig.
Cool. Now, I think you said before, Hugh, that you sold some of these to a local shop. Is that true?
Yeah. I've had a few shops pick them up. The shop in Missouri's carried them. A shop in the UK has carried them.
Oh, there you go.
We got a couple of shops here in North Carolina, a couple in South Carolina, one in Atlanta, Cincinnati.
That's cool. Do they regularly order them from you, or is that like a one batch thing?
I've had a couple of repeat orders. It seems that some of the shops will order them and want their shop logo on every one that they get.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it's kind of like if I went to Walmart and bought a shirt, I don't want it to say Walmart on it. I think that might stall them a little bit.
Well, yeah,
that's fair. So I have to share something personal with everybody because I'm getting text messages from my fiance. Hey, come upstairs. I'm like, I can't right now. It's about a prenup. So I'm getting married in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
My fiance is hounding me about this prenup. I just want to say that you got a good one when she's pushing you to hurry up and get the prenup done when I'm going to be the only one working in my household. And she's on me about it. So, you got a good one there.
That's like next level high horsing. Shit.
She will soon be Mrs. High Horse.
Oh. Poor thing.
Yeah.
You ready, Mast?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. So what we have here is a blurry son of a bitch. This is one of Angsty's favorite buttons. It is a LED. I guess you could call it anti-vandal. Pushy, lights up LED. It's gonna break down on you after like 8,000 clicks.
Hasn't yet,
button.
baby. Hasn't yet.
So, pretty cool button. I had some people ask, how do you wire up an LED button? So, we're going to cover that now. This guy I already have wired up because, we know how to solder. We've already covered that. What I'm going to show you is which posts to put power to what and where and what you want to cover and how you want to, be able to do this because you don't want to just apply 4 something volts to it because that LED is going to go bye-bye. So here's what we have. We have the switch, and what I'm going to do is, since this worked out so good last time, we're going to do drawing with mast. So I'm going to draw you up the
Taco Party
circuit.
That's a 400 amp switch, by the way.
Yeah, this is actually a 450 amp rated switch. I just had it running the power main outside of my house, but it's okay because it's 400 amp AC.
Joe
so
said the amp level, it's over 9,000.
That means it's going to be 8,000. The new Ares rocket that NASA's working on, it's actually going to have one of these. They're going to push to start it right here. Okay, so it'll even fire rockets. So we're going to draw up a quick little nice and dirty schematic. Here's the poles on the switch. Okay, and as you can see here, actually, is it going to show up backwards? That'll be fine. Okay, so I have wired up. The switch itself has a small dot, okay, indicating color, indicating where the positive connector is. Okay, that positive, you can see in there where it's black, I just marked it. It has a positive on it, and then there's also a negative over here. So if you're looking at the switch this way, this is going to be your positive voltage in. Okay, this lead right here on the switch. Okay, up at the top, this is going to be your device, whether it's a DNA or you're doing an OKR build and you're using the sense pin or anything like that. This is going to be one of your connections. It doesn't matter, positive or negative, because really, for example, on DNA, there isn't. You could use one and then ground the other. So you're going to bring your connection in from device. Device switch. Okay. And it'll be on this pole here. We'll just make it a circle so that way it's easier. And then down here to the right, you're going to have a piece of wire. You can use a negative or a black piece of wire to designate that that's your negative side. So we will do this, okay? And you're going to have down at the bottom, you're going to have the other end of your device switch. Okay, so these are your leads going in here. That means that when you don't have any power hooked up here, okay, this can still perform as a switch. So imagine you don't want the LED to turn on, okay? You don't want it on whatsoever. You just wire it there and there, coming in from your device, and you push the button. And to prove that, what we're going to do is we're going to use our voltmeter, and we're going to set it to continuity, and we're going to, let's just see if we can touch these two here to show you. We're going to press the button, okay, magic happens right there, okay, and that's no light whatsoever. All right, so you can use a switch like that. I don't know why you would want to buy a light up LED switch for that, but hey, there you go. So if you want to do that, you can just hook up, and again, we're having our switch with the positive voltage in on the left hand side. So and you don't have to have this hooked up either. So you can just do these two poles, no problem. Now, let's say you want a light only when you press the button, kind of like Angsty has on his. All right. So you're gonna bring in.
Can you pan the camera down a little bit? People can't see the bottom.
Yep. Like so.
Yep.
Okay.
Probably a little bit more.
Go down some more.
Right there.
There? Okay. So over here you'll have your battery. Okay. Going into your voltage in, which is this guy right here. And on the end of it, you're going to have, these switches are almost all the same with voltage. Let me see if I can get this one to show up. This LED in here requires 2.8 volts. Okay, it's kind of rubbed off, but it used to read it right there, and it said 2.8. Okay, so you don't want to feed 4 volts to this. Yes, it will light, but that LED is not going to last very long. Okay, just like you don't want to use one of these switches for your mech box. Okay, I know what some of you guys are thinking. Oh, a lit up LED switch for my mech box. No, don't do it. So you want to keep the voltage at 2.8 or lower. You can have a lower light if you, brightness if you want, by using a different resistor. The resistor that I have in here is a 10 ohm resistor, okay, and that brings the voltage from 4.1 volts down to 2.8, 2.7, somewhere around there. Okay, so I have the resistor in there. Okay, so we'll say 10. Let's freaking do the ohm sign here. Resistor right here. Okay, and you have your connection from top to the bottom. These guys you connect normally, so you'll connect your switching device up at the top of the bottom, and then your negative will also be down here at the bottom. So this guy will also, okay, let me get this 1 second. Gonna get my leads for my battery. Just using a LiPo to power this up, so we're just going to wire it up. Alright, so you guys can see the difference between wiring up one way and the other. Let me see if I can kind of hold this so the camera can see it. Okay, so I have my negative to the battery down here. That's your negative sign, okay? So the circuit looks like this. This wire is my negative, okay? And I have it plugged into the bottom, which is right here. And here is my positive. Okay, so I'm going to touch to the battery. Nothing happens until you push. Let me push here so my fat finger's out of the way. The switch.
Ooh, green.
Okay. Now, let's say you had a master switch on your mod, okay, which cuts all power out to the device, and you wanted to be cool, and you wanted to have this switch running all the time, whether you push the button or not. That can also be done, okay? And this is something sometimes when people get a little confused and they wire it up and it's constantly on. This is why, okay? And all you have to do, we're going to go back. All you have to do is move this negative over here, okay? Once you move this negative over here, the switch is always on. The light in the switch is always on, I should say, okay? Whether you push it or not, that light is always going to be on. Now the switch will still work like a switch when you have one terminal here and one terminal here hooked up to your device. It'll still act like a switch. You can either have it on all the time, and I only recommend this because it gets annoying if you have something where you can turn off power to it. Some people, want to have it on all the time, whatever. Most of the time, people want to have it just work when they're pushing the button. So we're hooking the negative down here.
Mass, if you've got that little bridge from the right-hand pole to the top one. So
yes.
You've got that bridge across. Like, how does that work if you're using the positive on top and the negative on the right?
Okay.
Does that not burn it out?
No, this bridge here is only for the light, for the LED.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you can think the LED working here, okay.
Yeah.
That's all that the LED is getting power from. So when you're pushing the button, it's actually making this connection and finishing the connection for the LED.
Okay.
So these two poles here are used only for only as a switch.
To your board, right?
To your board, correct.
Yeah.
There's no power running through here. There won't be any voltage running through here. These two here is what's basically they have the LED in line with that.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep. So, like I said, here's your your schematic. If you I'll know next time I'll have better markers. But this guy here and this guy here are for your switch. Okay, and the other two guys, which we can do in blue, this guy here and this guy here are for your LED. Okay, and that's it. It's just as simple as that. Remember your resistor. If you have a switch that has a different voltage requirement on there, most of them, the only difference in voltage that you're going to see is if you have different color LEDs. Okay, some white LEDs and higher in the spectrum or lower in the spectrum will require a little bit less or more power. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head exactly how much. This green one requires 2.8 volts, and that gets it to as close as possible. Again, remember the designation of the color and where the positive is by that that little dot. And some switches will be different. Like I said, this is a pretty standard light up LED switch that is in plenty of mods. And as you can see, Hanks, if you want to hold yours up, you have a white one. It's pretty bright.
It's really bright.
I have heard people complain in some of the mods when they're in a dark area, when they go to vape, it lights up the whole thing. And
unless you got big fat fingers like mine, it pretty much covers it anyway.
Yeah, it covers it up pretty much. So
makes my fingertip glow.
Yep, there you have it.
I remember the question that I was going to ask.
Nice.
Excellent.
While Matt gets set up before we do the randomizer, I'm going to ask you another question. As you figure out if you can do a different 510 or I guess a more stable 510, are you planning on offering, like if somebody wants to send in theirs to have it upgraded to the new 510?
That won't be able to be done. As the way the box is made, the only removable part is the bottom. So it's all one piece once it's done.
Okay.
So, yeah, it wouldn't be
definitely worth an ask.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that was it for that one. We are up to $310.
That is awesome.
Mast is back. Are we ready for the randomization here?
We are.
All right, so everybody's names are in this list. I'm going to click this list 3 times.
Here we go.
First time. Second time. And Liz L.
Liz?
Nice.
She's not even watching right now.
Yeah, Liz was in there. She was in
Yeah, she was.
No, she said she's sitting in chat waiting to watch the show till tomorrow.
No, she was in here.
But she was in the chat.
Yeah.
Well,
Liz, congratulations.
She is number 3 on the randomizer.
Wait, where's the effects? Master, you got them up?
Yeah.
Click. Here.
Slightly delayed clap.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's awesome. Congratulations, that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Yes. I just need Liz L's address, and we'll have that out to her tomorrow.
I will get her information.
We actually know who that is, so no problem.
Yep.
That'll be no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Hugh, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man.
That's it's fantastic.
This is a nice pick-me-up from her having a shitty ISP.
Thank you guys for raising some money.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
I am glad that we could. I am so happy with how much.
Yeah, that is really impressive, honestly. Thanks a lot to everybody watching. And you know, how long are we gonna have? That open, Sean?
What's that?
The donation.
You can feel free to keep donating as much as you want, but there's no more.
Yeah, because there's I know there's some people that still want to donate when they watch later on. So
they are welcome to keep donating, but the mod is gone.
Absolutely.
But by all means, it's still a fantastic charity to donate to.
Agreed.
Yep. Word up.
Thanks everybody who watched tonight. Thanks.
All right.
Thank you too for coming on and talking to us, and for making something really cool and not completely fucking killing people on the price of it.
or killing people with it blowing up because you're using a gangsta switch.
There you go.
Gangsta switch.
So yeah, and also, you know, we had a few talks. I wanted to give a shout outs to a praying brother of mine. He was praying in this picture. He's praying to the. I mean, that is a prayer right there. So
he's not even paying attention.
He's not even paying attention. I think he fell asleep.
Did he?
Either that or maybe he locked up. Oh, did he lock up?
No, he's moving.
No,
I think he's sleeping.
Let's see. Amen. Oh, he was sleeping. There he is. He'll have to catch that on the replay.
He's had a long day. He had a long night.
Yeah.
I'm so zoned out, and actually, I'm answering an important email from my brother.
I said I gave a shout out to my praying brother right there. Praying.
Dude, don't show that.
Too late, dude. It's
Too
already
late.
recorded on the internet.
It was up there for like 20 seconds.
Thanks everybody for going.
Bye.